Oh my, you fucker. You fucker.
Go.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Shooting with the Saint with Anthony Aries. And today we got a guest who I've been trying to get on the podcast for so long, honestly, way back fucking to the days of the FBW Undisputable podcast. But we're here back. It's my own podcast, and we're finally getting this done. I'm home alone, so no interruptions on my end.
Wait, you're Kevin?
All right, no, we're ending this. I'm not dealing with your ass. Motherfucker wasting our fucking 1 hour Google Meets is giving us because Google's fucking poor, I guess. Charging us to fucking talk longer than an hour. The fuck, Google.
Hey, it's Instagram took over Google. Get over it.
But we're here for another episode of Shooting with the Saint. If you guys haven't, go check out the one I did with Jay Gaz, the new Messiah of the Yard, most likely, if he wins that GWA title. But you know what? Since we mentioned that, let's just right off the bat, let's discuss what happened to the Messiah of the Yard. Because as we saw at Heart of Glory, you were crowned the Messiah of the Yard, and then nothing happened.
And I got to use that gimmick for one night only.
So what happened with that? Let's talk about that. What happened, and why were you not able to be the Messiah of the Yard? And actually, you were one of my disciples. You were the disciple of Revolt, and you weren't even able to do that either. So let's talk about that. Let's get that out the way. What happened with that whole disciple Messiah run? That non-existent.
It didn't exist because Eamon thought it was stupid, even though what was supposed to lead into something big, Eamon didn't believe that I should have been doing it. And
Eamon is Aaron Blaze for all you people who
all
don't
you
know.
stupid fucking marks.
Damn, this is out of character. Yeah, guys, this is the real ATK, the real ATK. What a piece of crap.
No, that fucking promo I posted on Instagram though.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
So
back on topic.
yeah, back on topic. We're serious. Oh, damn. This is why ATK hasn't been on the damn podcast.
I'm mean.
So yeah, back on topic. So Aaron Blaze, Eamon, whatever you guys want to call
I'm
him.
just gonna refer to him as Blaze because I don't want to confuse the fuck out of people. So
After you already proceeded.
Aaron Blaze didn't let me. Aaron Blaze didn't let me use the gimmick because he thought the King of the Kick shit was the thing I needed to do, which honestly would have been fine. I still would have been doing the same moveset. It's just I would have renamed a couple things, and I would have been this holy god.
And like.
Actually,
And like the thing is, it would have fit in the United Front too. Like
because Aaron Blaze is God's last gift. God's last gift. Anyway,
overrated.
Over.
There you go. There's Blaze's hissy fit now.
Good thing this isn't in character because I think Blaze would get a little pissy and throw a super kick at my head. Not like he's already done it. Actually, no, it's not a super kick to the head. It's a punch straight to the balls because it's the only place he knows where to hit me. So.
Jesus Christ. So Blaze didn't let you do the Disciple or the Messiah of the Yard, and then now you just have to focus on whatever the fuck he's allowing you to do. So, you know.
Yeah.
So now we got Jay Gaz, probably the new Messiah of the Yard.
I don't know why. I thought the first time you said his name, I thought you said Jay Ass.
This is ATK, everybody.
A jokester.
So how do you feel about Jay Gaz possibly becoming the new Messiah of the Yard?
Good for him. At least he'll be able to use the fucking gimmick.
I mean, he is the Messiah of GWA. Probably would have made more sense. Damn. 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 Attacking everybody.
If I get a chance to go into character, a lot of shit's gonna be said.
So let's go start from the beginning. So your career, you've been mostly known from your stuff in YBW. You did have your own company, K-2, which is now up and running again. It's kind of like a side thing from YBW. So how did you get into YBW?
Okay, so you know the story because I told you this, 5 times because of the last times we tried to do this podcast, but nobody else knows. So, me and Eamon, Aaron Blaze, Eamon, whatever the fuck his name is. Or let me restart. Eamon, real Aaron Blaze outside of the Aaron Blaze character. I met him in middle school at Belfont. Fuck that school, by the way. We'll never go back. But we met in the chorus class. You know, you gotta sing in that class.
You two fucking singing.
It was the gayest shit ever. But anyways, it was probably worse because Eamon's anyways.
This man.
But we met in there and we started, and I saw him wearing a Shield shirt, I believe. And I was like, "Oh, so you like wrestling too?" He's like, "Yeah, I have my own show." And I was like, and we talked about it for a while. And then he's like, "Do you want to join?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
So YBW was already up and going before you joined.
Barely up and going.
So you joined in like pretty much like the beginning.
Yes, I was in the beginning, but YBW had a little bit, and then it started dying.
So what year was this when you joined?
2019, beginning of 2019. Actually, it was either mid 19 or beginning of 19.
And KTW was over at this point, and you stopped.
Yeah, the first time around it was already over. It ended in 18 at Legacy 4, I believe. It was either Legacy 4 or it was Halloween Hell.
So why did the first run of KTW end?
One, my cousin wasn't around as much. Two, I wanted to take a break from wrestling because of the shit going on with my family. Like, my uncle passed away, and I never even took the time to think about that and shit. So
No, mentally heal.
Mentally heal. Which that wasn't the first time I left wrestling for a bit to mentally heal.
I mean, you know, mental health is definitely, you know, something we all got to take seriously, and you know, because mental health can really fuck you, you know, up and shit. So how long after you met, you know, Blaze did you join YBW? Was it kind of like the first conversation you had?
It was the same week we met.
Really? So you were ATK in the first run of KTW, or did you have a different name?
First run of KTW I was, but it wasn't the beginning of KTW that I was ATK. I actually went by a different name for the first 2 years, I believe.
So you were ATK when you were going into YBW. You thought you just keep the same name.
Yes, I was ATK when I was going into YBW.
So let's talk about ATK, because names are a real big part of everybody's character and career, and like
we don't need to talk about AJ Younggun. That was a huge thing, and then it
you know, and like everybody, and one thing I like is like I like hearing the stories behind people's names, because you know, creating a wrestling name, you know, is a real big part of everything, and some people have some really creative stories. So what's the story behind the name ATK that you've grown, and what was the original meaning? Because I know the original, you know, a meaning of ATK was not above the Knights.
It was not.
So let's talk about the name ATK.
You know how I am with my YouTube nowadays. I'm big into gaming on YouTube and stuff. Now, I'm not as big as a gamer now. I usually only game when the camera's recording.
I feel that same way.
But back then, I used to game a lot, and I had another YouTube channel, unfortunately, because my dad, that got deleted. Fuck him, too. But anyway.
Shoot on everybody.
Shoot on family, friends, whoever the fuck.
Nobody is safe.
Nobody is safe. But, so, the original YouTube channel, which had over 100 subscribers, almost at 200, and, like, this was my YouTube channel that was growing, like, quickly. And the name of it was Aaron the Killer.
There you go.
And when I started getting into wrestling after watching a lot of CHW, after the whole AJ Younggun shit, I'm like, I was thinking of the character, and I'm like, you know, I really don't like it. And I was thinking, what would be something that sounds cool that I can abbreviate, and it's easy to pronounce. And I was like, Aaron the Killer, ATK. That's it, right there.
I'm not gonna lie, my first wrestling name was abbreviations, which was ALM, and that was just my real name initials.
ALM, that's actually a pretty dope name.
That was my first wrestling name, ALM, and that was taken from inspiration from ESW wrestler MOD. And I know MOD stands for Master of Disaster, but like I low-key at the time when I was little, I thought that was his name initials. So like when I was going into FBW and I was thinking of a name, I loved MOD and shit. So I was like, shit, let me just do my initials like him and do ALM. But it turns out that was not his fucking, that wasn't his name initials. But and then I changed anything Aries. But it is what it is. But hey, our names start somewhere.
Yep.
So you got into YBW with Aaron Blaze. So how was the beginning stages of your career? Because your first run, I guess, wasn't that long or whatever. So let's talk about your first run in YBW, because you did end up leaving YBW once before, and then you came back. So let's talk about the first
And
run.
there was no, I actually got fired twice, and both of them were for reasons out of my control. Which I'm about to shoot on someone that was a part of it. So get ready, get back and relax.
Get your popcorn, get your drinks. All right, so let's talk about
Get your cans of Coke, you fat fucks.
So what happened the first time you got? Now you got fired twice in like the span of like a short time, right?
Span of probably 6 months.
So how long did your first run in YBW last?
So 2019 into 2020 was when
And
the
and throughout that whole year, you got fired twice.
no, my second run I got fired in 2021.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about your first run and why you got fired.
So first run, I came in the YBW, debuted in episode 6 of Carnage, I believe. It was the Circle of Chaos match, the 2 Circle of Chaos matches. My brother debuted, then I did. And, of course, from my match, nobody talked about my... Sorry, my thumb's in the way. From my first match, nobody talked about my brother's debut. Nobody gave a shit about his debut. But after my match, I was getting talked about in the comments. People were saying that I had the potential to be great. And this is back when, no offense, Blaze was an egotistical asshole. Like a really bad egotistical asshole. Not saying he isn't now. Sorry, bro. I love you. I'm joking. But back then he was a... And if you don't agree, then you're a fucking liar. But you were an egotistical asshole back then.
Blaze has his moments where his ego's a little high.
But this is back when he always had to win and retain the world title.
And I think that's like a problem that a lot of bookers and wrestlers have. Is like you have to have the maturity to know when you have to lose and when you have to win. And you can't. You have to balance the two, and you can't always put yourself over. And the thing is, a lot of these bookers who run feds, they have that issue where if they have the power to book and be in charge of creative, they're putting themselves over. But you have to.
Like when I originally started KTW, I was world champion for over a year and a half, and it wasn't even because I wanted to. It's just because it only made sense. I was doing what made sense because I couldn't feud with anyone because we didn't bring the mask characters in yet. This was just the 3 of us. So my brother and my cousin were feuding over the U.S. title. And did I just fucking break my cup holder?
Jesus Christ.
I smacked it and now it's loose. God damn it. It's loose like other things.
Yeah, but no, a lot of bookers in backyard wrestling, they do have, ego issues and they don't know how to, book themselves fairly and shit. I luckily in FBW never had that issue. I've always understood and now in the beginning I was FBW champion and I held it for a bit, but that was only because I was the most experienced, the most dedicated, and everybody else was still learning and knowing their roles and stuff. And then but like once everybody started learning their places and shit in FBW, that's when like Eric Danger became the FBW champion, and then Chris became the champ, and then me started slowly fading away from the main event scene for a while and stuff. But booking's not easy either. Booking takes a lot of maturity and shit. But okay, so back to it. So what happened the first time you got fired from YBW?
So I couldn't show up to tapings because my brother was being a bitch about it and wanted to snitch on me to my father because my father was having problems with him. Because apparently we had the cops called on us down on a public park by women that were smoking on the kids' playground.
Wait, so you weren't allowed to go wrestle?
No, I was not allowed, and I would sneak out of the house and go to Amon's
Why?
house. I was a fucking rebel. I was a fucking rebel heart.
So why were you not allowed to wrestle?
I just said like we
Oh, so
apparently
like the cops being called on you kind of made your.
apparently they were called. Look, and even if they did, we wouldn't get in trouble because we weren't over fucking on the playground like the women on the playground who were smoking cigarettes around the children.
So you missed the taping and Blaze told
I
you,
missed multiple. I missed multiple because my brother wanted to be a snitch.
and then, you missing caused Blaze to be like, you got to get out of here.
Yep. So here's the thing about my brother. He's changed his ways now a bit, probably because I put him in his place a couple times. But he acts like he's such a big shot, but he can't fucking wrestle. He can't fucking work worth shit. He almost concussed Damon already. He broke my ribs with an F5. He somehow managed to knee Damon in the balls with an F5. He believes
Jesus Christ.
he believes he needs to be the top guy all the time. Is what? What? Oh, I can lift more than you guys. I'm the powerhouse here. I gotta be the big guy.
You know what? You know what? I experienced that with Colin the Beast in FBW in the early days of FBW in like 2014 when we first started like got going like full time. That's how some people are, Egos are a real big problem in wrestling. I'm not gonna lie. Like Colin the Beast messed up the entire Wrestle Bash 1 main event. It was a fatal four-way. It was me versus Chris Dynamite versus Eric Danger versus Colin the Beast for the FBW title. It was my fucking, what was it, my 13th birthday? And it was a fucking fatal four-way, and he fucking took over the match. He started hitting people for real. He fucking started no-selling everything. And he almost fucking tried winning the match, like, for real, when he knew I was supposed to win. He ended up getting fired for that and came back, like, a year later. But, man, I don't know. People are like that.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stop there with my brother. I'll continue my brother when we get to my third run, because that's where the interesting part of what happened.
So you and your brother are not really close or have a good relationship?
We are close now. We are close now because he put the wrestling shit behind him, and I just.
So what started to go wrong with you and your brother?
Long story short, he was interfering with my personal life, and it was pissing me off. So I kind of told him to fuck off.
Yeah. So why was he getting involved in like your business
So
in a negative way?
I have school and shit, right? Well, he believes he needs to play video games 24/7 and scream on the top of his lungs and leave his computer on all the time when I'm trying to fucking sleep.
You guys share a room, or used to share a room?
Used to share a room. Now I get now.
So how much older is your brother than you?
3 years.
So he was out of school when you were still in school?
Yeah, he's been out of school. He's just in college. He's just over at college now, partying and shit. Which, hey, it's not my life. I can't control what he does.
True that.
Like, I like him, but I also hate him.
So it's just just brother beef, petty shit.
It's brotherly love, I guess you could say.
So you missed a couple tapings. You got fired from YBW the first time. So how did you end up coming back to YBW?
Honestly, it's just so fucking random. Me and Eamon bumped into each other at school, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come back?" Why the fuck not?
So wait, so when you got fired the first time, did that sour you and Blaze's relationship, or?
Not really. We hated each other for a span of like a week.
So how long did your first firing last?
I think it lasted a couple months because of Eamon's grandfather not liking me for whatever reason it was. Even though it was my brother's fault, everything happened. So Eamon kind of had to talk to his grandfather, I believe, about what happened, and then I was allowed to come back. That's what I think is what happened. I can't exactly remember. Was this 2020?
you randomly bumped into him at school or whatever, and then he asked you to come back. So how did your second run in YBW, or yeah,
One in
YBW last?
YBW, self-explanatory. My first two YBW world titles.
So then, how did you end up getting fired for the second time?
Let me go through the world title shit first, because that's where we're at right now.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
My first world title run got cut short. Well, no, it didn't. I was supposed to drop it on my fucking birthday, you asshole. On it.
So how long did it
30th.
take you to win the world title in your first run?
In my first run, I didn't win in my first run.
Or second run?
Second run, I won it. I won it when I beat Aaron Blaze before his birthday.
So how long into your second run did you win the world title?
Into my second run, did I win the world title? So my second run as a world champion, I beat him again before his birthday the very next year. And then I held it for a couple months and then dropped it to him at Collision Course. And this is when the second firing happened. So, you remember the break down the case shit?
Yeah, the match type.
The hell? Well, after that was when T-Bone was really starting to get in. I couldn't make tapings because of family shit again.
So you've been plagued with family issues, from what it seems.
Mainly at my dad's place. Yes, I've been plagued with it.
And then same thing happened. He got annoyed and let you go again.
I get thrown the blame for it. And that's the first time I told him to go fuck himself. And
Really?
that's why I got fired. But there was another reason I wanted to take a break from wrestling. This was the moment I noticed, and this is the year I tore my ACL. I noticed something was going on with my left knee, and I was like,
After or before you got fired?
this was probably a couple days after the 3 stages of hell, so a little bit before I got fired.
You got hurt wrestling or outside activities?
Outside activities, like out school wrestling, like amateur.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, my knee doesn't feel right. Fucking. And then I decided to say, it's probably fine. Just went out there, wrestled, got home, and my knee is just fucking. I was actually waiting, no. I was wrestling a match, I remember, and I was beating the kid, and I ended up pinning him, so I won the match. But I remember I was going for the cradle, and I went to fucking pull him over, and I felt my ACL pop.
Really?
As I picked the kid up and went to roll him, my knee fucking popped. And I remember the trainers had to help me get off the fucking mat because I couldn't walk with my left leg.
And this was when you were doing YBW?
This wasn't YBW. This was amateur.
No, I mean like this is while you were doing YBW. Like
this was while I was doing YBW. Yes, I was still in the company. And I didn't want to tell Eamon about it because I didn't know how serious an ACL injury at the time was. I thought, oh, I'll just be out for a couple weeks. I didn't realize with the severity of my ACL tear that I was going to have to get surgery and then be out for 9 months, which actually took me out for an entire year because the amount of time it took them to get me in, get my ACL patched up, and then the recovery time.
So you didn't tell Blaze because you thought it wasn't that big of a deal, and then when it turned out...
No, I didn't, and then I ended up getting fired, so I didn't tell him shit anyways.
So why did he fire you then around that time?
It was the family issues, I said, and then I was getting thrown blame for it. Me and him argued.
He didn't want to deal with you no more type deal?
Yeah, and we just kind of parted ways. And then end of 2021, I believe, rolls around. Was it the end of 2020? Fuck.
Them concussions are getting to you.
Hold on. I gotta go on YouTube. Yes, I was dropping too many times.
But
Yo, never mind. I don't need to check. It was actually fuck. Yeah, I know what it is now. I know what it was now. It was the one I left and then I came back in 2022.
And that was when you came back and around the Nexus time or whatever.
Yeah, remember my run with when I came back at Breakdown. Is it 3? No, 4.
And then you did the whole Clash of the Yards thing.
Clash of the Yards, beat Echo twice the same week. Won the Breakout in the case.
All right,
Beat
so
Monstruct. Beat Monstruct the night after.
So before we get into the run you are now, because now that started your current run, that it's more up to date, and that really got your name out there. Well, let's talk about your amateur wrestling career, because not a lot of yarders do amateur wrestling or did
I
amateur wrestling.
wish I had my plaques and stuff, but that's at my dad's. But I could talk about it.
So when did you start amateur wrestling?
2018.
So and how old were you at that point?
Actually, I want to say this. I started amateur wrestling in 2018. I didn't want to start amateur wrestling in 2018. I wanted to start way sooner.
So how old were you when you first started?
When did I first start? How old was I? So this was 2018. Oh shit! I was 6. No. I was 8. I was 8 in 2014, 2019.
So you were like 12-ish.
12ish, yeah.
13, 12. So
me struggling to figure out how old I was.
So what got you into amateur wrestling?
I just kind of wanted to do it because it looked interesting to me. I watched my brother do a couple meets, and I was like, okay.
Was this before, like, this was like, after you got into like professional wrestling?
Yes, this was after KTW ended, but before I started YBW.
So how did you get into professional wrestling in general?
I was. How old was I? I was 2 or 3 years old. Okay. And I just happened. My dad kept me out with him at one night with him and my brother, and it was Friday Night SmackDown. I believe that was on the TV. And after that, I started to enjoy it. So they let me stay out with them each and every time, and I'd watch and I'd really enjoy it. And that's how my life has been since those years, 2007, 2008.
My first memory of wrestling, I was with my step uncle at his house, and they
the family's deep when you say step uncle.
my grandpa married this woman, and then who already had kids, so like they got married. And
deep.
I mean, my family's fucking huge, and like because
Deep
I got adopted into a Hispanic family. You know how Hispanic families are; they're fucking huge, and I don't even know fucking 80% of them, honestly. But I was with my step uncle, and he was a wrestling fan, or he was. This was like maybe like 2006 ish, 2007, and the match that was on, from what I remember, it was Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero, and I think it was.
Oh, that match was the.
And I think it was the SmackDown I Quit match, where Chavo won, when he hung Rey Mysterio upside down on the stage and hit his leg with the chair. And my step uncle fucked me up because he told me that to get him down and help him, they had to cut off his legs. So like that shit fucking scarred the fuck out of like my 5-year-old self. I was like, damn, poor Rey Mysterio, no.
Did he actually do that to you?
He actually told me that because I think it was like a replay or some shit. I don't think it was live or whatever. And he's like, yeah, to get him down, they had to cut off his legs and shit. So now he has no legs. I was like, damn. Fuck.
Why would you do that to you?
But that was my earliest memory of wrestling. But like but
yeah.
So when did you stumble upon backyard wrestling and gain an interest in that? Like, what was the first fed? When did you get into it?
I've been watching CHW since the beginning.
CHW. That was like the rivals to ESW. It was EHW and CHW. You were a CHW guy? I was both. I was an ESW guy.
I was both, but I watched CHW more.
I feel that. I've checked out CHW a couple times.
Why do you think I'm a fucking hard? Why do you think
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give it to him. CHW was kind of a little more hardcore than ESW. As this man's breaking glass. But no, who was the
Well,
main guy? Who was the main guy in CHW back then?
take
Shit,
a take a guess, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
something Swart or
Swing
whatever.
guard.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
No,
always been.
those two companies were the OG of our generation. I'm not gonna lie.
It was Austin G. It was Austin G. and Swade Savard. I know
Yep,
that.
those were the two OGs. Everybody wanted to be like them. Everybody got
Well,
into BYW from their
I
feds.
that. It was Nikita, I think is the girl's name, in Swade Savard, and then it was Austin and Alex G.
I mean I mean sadly CHW is no longer around, but ESW, look what ESW is. They're almost like
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
fucking
wait.
indie.
Oh shit. Do you think I should I do it? Should I do it? You know I have it.
What?
One sec.
What is this man? What is this man doing? What is this man doing? What are you pulling out?
I have it.
Oh, where you get that from?
Eamon bought it from. Eamon got a replica from Swade, and then Eamon gave it to me.
That's fucking dope. That is dope. Cause I know they used to make titles too, back in the day.
They still do. They still sell these.
Oh
I'm
really?
about to hit up Swade for the interstate.
Oh really? That's
Only
pretty
they're,
dope.
they're only about $40
$40.
for the replicas. Yeah. It's just
dope.
like a real staples and then the special cardboard.
That's fucking dope. That is dope. That is real dope. So how old? So when did you get? So when did you discover CHW?
I was on YouTube at my pap's garage. Not that pap, the pap out in Snowshoe.
So
Before that,
so what
before that
what
garage
year or
pap.
time was this?
Around CHW started around 2011, right?
Something like that. They were real OGs back in the day. Yeah.
I was on YouTube. It showed up on my For You page because I was watching a lot of wrestling, and I watched it and fell in love with it instantly.
Not gonna
And
lie,
yes,
that's how
I
it was for me.
this was back when I started watching. This is back when Suede Savard was the Triple S.
See, I discovered ESW around 2011, 2012. And then in December of 2012 is when I showed Chris Dynamite. And was like, "Yo, let's do this." Because like what really got me into backyard wrestling was seeing ESW with no ring. You know, seeing
Oh, that's
CHW with no
right.
ring, and then being like, "Well, if they don't have a ring, I don't have a ring. What's stopping me from doing it?" You know.
Literally, that's what I was like. Was you don't need a ring. We ended up having a trampoline, but we didn't need a ring.
I've wanted a
Well,
trampoline so bad for FPW, but we've never was able to get the funds.
fuck
Trampoline
the
wrestling
spot.
is fun as fuck too. I'm not gonna lie,
The fuck
trampoline wrestling is pretty fun, but
you
dude, it
when
takes a toll on your body more than I thought. Like getting rug burn
back
and shit
when
from that.
younger, when I was younger doing KTW, I used to do fucking running shooting star presses off the trampoline. No shit, no cap.
Bro, trampoline wrestling, like it kind of takes a toll on your body more than what I thought. Because like you get rug burn from like falling and shit all over the bouncy part and shit. And like man, it takes cardio to bounce on that damn
Have
thing.
you ever taken a suplex and your opponent misjudged the landing spot and your back hit the steel edging?
No, but Sam Reeves didn't want to take a suplex because he's like, every time somebody suplexes me, my fucking ankles hit the fucking metal springs. I was like, yeah, because you got to fucking do a fucking snap suplex because you're too big, just a snap suplex and you'll be good. And then, we ended up doing it in the match or whatever. But no, but I did fucking land on my damn fucking neck on my trampoline match. Like
Let's go.
my first like actual match because the first one at Global was the quick bullshit setup for the big backyard wrestling Nexus match, and in that Nexus match at Hog, fucking yeah, no, I went for a choke slam. You know how you go up then down. I went to go up, but Reeves did the motion to go down. So when I jumped up and he pushed, like I just landed right on my neck.
How hilarious as fuck.
Dude, the fucking Blade who was reffing was like, "Oh shit," and fucking Reeves was like, "Yo, you good?" was like, I feel fine right now, but later, I don't know about that. That shit fucked me up though.
No, it was the fucking chops that we started delivering in YBW recently.
We grow, and the thing about back in wrestling is and wrestling in general, you never stop learning, and each match, each rep, you get better and shit looks more smoother and shit.
Okay, let me. If you had to pick one person to say they have the smoothest enziguri in like modern day backyard wrestling, who would you say?
Shit. Um, I haven't really seen anybody do a fucking enziguri, so probably you.
You know how my enziguris are. Holy, I literally it looks like I'm fucking walking up on them.
I know you hit a pretty smooth swing blade.
Oh yeah, I hit some pretty dope swing blades. And did you know? Did you know I did? I only learned how to do it after the first time I did it.
Really?
Revelations 3. I'm sure you know which match I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever hit one, and when I saw how good it was, I'm like, you know what? Fucking gonna keep doing
He
it.
said adding that to the arsenal. So, so right now you're on your most, I guess, successful run, and you can probably agree with that. This run
I'll
really.
totally not holding a YBW World Title for 200 days is any better than my other two, definitely.
So right now you're on a run that's really cementified your name in the backyard wrestling community. You're becoming more popular by the day, and after each show that uploads. So, what got you back into YBW this go around?
It was literally after I moved to my mom's. Let's be honest. When I moved here,
And this is closer to Blaze's house.
no, it's not. But I have more freedom here.
Okay, I see.
Like my mom is willing to take me up. Like this month, she can't take me up because she's busy, and I have work and stuff, and I want to settle into work before anything.
So, how did you and Blaze clear up everything and get you back in YBW?
We basically just talked it out.
Respectable, respectable.
We unblocked each other on Instagram and talked for
So
a good
before
half
that
hour.
was who? So before that, who started gaining the interest first? Did you start gaining interest to come back, or did he get interest first to bring you
Okay,
back?
but I think to be honest, we both were hitting it at the same time
All right.
because remember, nobody wanted to work with YBW after me and Trey got fired. Well, Trey quit basically because he was a bitch, but I
T-Bone.
got fired. Nobody else worked with Eamon, and Eamon needed someone to help run the show. Even if we didn't have a camera guy, we just needed someone he could wrestle
True.
and make the product.
That's why tripods exist. And
Yep.
editing.
All right,
So
breakdown
one of the things that. Wait, what were you about to say?
breakdown 4. That was the first show that we recorded since I returned.
I think I
Well, no,
was I was on that show too.
hey, breakdown 4 was not my return show, by the way. That's not the first taping I went to since my return.
Wasn't it the Nexus, right?
Nope.
Really? What was it then?
New Year's Revolution.
You were just behind the scenes or some shit?
No, that's when I beat Echo for the title.
Oh, really?
For the breakout title. That was the first. Did you notice how that one was in the yard and then we disappeared from the yard?
Shit, I don't
Which,
fucking remember.
amen. I know you're gonna end up probably watching this later. Were you wrong? No, you were wrong about the yard assumption. We weren't gone for over a year. Breakout King of the Yard was not the last time we were in the yard. Literally go back and watch New Year's Revolution. Yeah.
This man. I think I actually was on Breakdown 4 with you. I think like that was when I was announced as the GM or some shit, and then
Didn't you get fired as GM now?
no, I never got fired and nothing. Like I'm still on the creative team, I guess, for YBW.
You don't even have your name on the roster anymore.
He just never fucking used me. He used me like a couple of times, maybe like 4 or 5 times, and then he just stopped asking for videos.
He mainly for Rebirth and then only used you like twice after that.
Yeah, but I mean and then I just kind of am stuck on the creative team, and like I help him out with shit when he needs. But
Okay, I'll help you for your next question because I know you're going to end up asking me this anyways. What was my best match so far that I've had?
I was not even close to that question. I ain't stroking your ego yet.
I'm gonna do it anyways because we're talking about shit like this. But the match is gonna sound weird to people when I say it, but my best match was not even a me versus Blaze match. It was not me versus Blaze. Neither of those matches that we had, out of the 8 matches we had, none of them was my best.
Really?
My best match was actually me versus Kid Phoenix from New Year. No, what the fuck was it called?
But wait, who was under the Kid Phoenix mask?
Fair point, but
Ha ha ha! You darn fucking liar. But I mean,
in character, you dumbass.
So.
Kayfabe.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. Fucking Mr. Sam Reeves over here. But so let's talk about this run that you're on right now. Like I said, it's your most successful run. It's the run that's goddamn fucking littering in your own damn house. But this is the run that's really, put you on the map in backyard wrestling. Everybody's talking about you more. You're a pretty popular name now in backyard wrestling.
I don't know how the fuck it happened.
It happens, But really one of the things that got you going was, one of your first major programs back into backyard wrestling was for the Backyard Wrestling Nexus Clash of the Yards show. So how did you discover the Backyard Wrestling Nexus?
One name, Stryker.
It was Stryker, really?
Yeah, he literally texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to join the Nexus?" Yeah, why the fuck not? Get me in there.
Really?
End of discussion. That was the end of the discussion.
Did you hear about the Nexus before Stryker hit you up, or it was?
No, I have not.
So
because nobody talked to me.
So when Stryker, asked you to join the Nexus, what was your first impressions of the Nexus?
That was my reaction.
Yeah, fuck you. So what was your reaction or impression?
I didn't even ask him what the fuck the Nexus was. I was like, yeah, just put me in. And that was the end of our discussion.
Because I know once you joined, like many others in the Nexus, we grew a pretty, good friendship and bond.
I know. And that seems to be the trend with me. Like, when I get into a group, it seems like people bond better.
I bonded and built so many great friendships, with many people from the Nexus. Like Jay Gaz, who was the first episode of the podcast. And right now, besides like Sam Reeves, you're probably the closest friend I got in backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
How was so let's talk about your first backyard wrestling match, for the Nexus, and that was Clash of the Yards.
Yes.
And you did like a barbed wire spot and shit in that match.
That was the one where I hit the barbed wire Lego spot.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. So how was it, having one of your first major programs for the Nexus? Because you didn't really do nothing major on YBW at this point.
No, because this was when I just came back. My first match back was the New Year's Revolution match.
And a little thing that people don't know is your first match back entirely in backyard wrestling was supposed to be for the Nexus, but shit got delayed, and then the YBW shit got posted first.
Yeah. So my first match that I wrestled when I returned was the New Year's Revolution match. I am not denying that, because remember, that was out in the yard. But the way the uploads were supposed to go was my Clash of the Yards was supposed to be my first match back.
Yeah. And I remember we were, talking about that, making a big deal of it.
I'm not mad about that, though.
I mean, it is what it is,
I can say that I was the only wrestler on YBW that week. Well, not really. Blaze didn't wrestle as many matches as I did. But I wrestled 4 matches that one week and won them all. Because remember, Echo, El Spectro, Aaron Blaze and Oliver Blade because of the breakdown of the case ladder match. Then you. Actually, it would have been 5 because, Clash of the Yards was a Sunday, right?
Oh, man, I don't remember, I think. Maybe it was a Saturday or Sunday.
Well, then Monday I wrestled Lunchstruck and beat him. So within a span of a little over a week and one day, I already was 5-0 on my return.
Yeah, because wasn't YBW Rebirth Week like around the same time as Clash of the Yards, right?
Yeah, it was. That was that full week show, and then it was Clash of the Yards.
So
Clash of the Tribute show were the same day, and that was a Sunday.
And that's where I did the first ever 1 hour Iron Man match in backyard wrestling history. I know you did it, but I did it first.
Hey, you had the first, but I had the best.
No, I think honestly, I haven't watched yours, and you probably haven't even watched mine fully. So we'll
Yeah.
agree. We'll agree to just say they were both great and leave it at that.
How the fuck did I not watch your full Iron Man match when I was sitting there watching Clash of the
Oh
Yards?
shit! Yeah, you're right. I
Dip.
I don't know whose was better, honestly, but they were both good.
I'm gonna say this about yours. Both of ours had really good spots. Yours was the first
Really
and
was.
was more technical, but mine was more heated.
Yeah, and you know, I think you guys maybe had somewhat of an advantage to do a little better than me and Chris because you guys were inside. Me and Chris were almost in
And
100-degree weather outside.
we yeah, we wanted to be outside. We're being honest. We wanted to be outside, and there was a couple spots I wanted to do. Like I wanted to set up a ladder and hit a fucking sunset flip off of it.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, for the 1 hour Iron Man match, being outside and it being like close to 100 degrees, that really fucked us up because
At least you're not on black. At least you're not on a black mat wrestling in the hot ass weather.
I mean, true.
You
But
want to know why? Because when the sun's hitting those mats, imagine how hot it is when you have to sit down face first or back on that mat.
true. But I mean, I think me
And
and
you're not
Chris
allowed
did
to.
pretty good. I mean, I definitely think that me
You
and
guys did.
Chris was match of the night for Clash.
At least I didn't get stung by a bee.
Dude, I did. So first it was Chris threw the pop bits in my face and got sawdust in my eye. And then he fucking cracked my neck. And then he picked me up to do an airplane spin and Samoan drop. And then I got fucking stung by a bee when he Samoan dropped me. And then later in the match, he AA'd me so fucking hard, it took all the fucking wind out of me and fucked me up for a fucking couple days after.
No, there was the time back
And then
in
I
back.
fucking gave him a receipt and fucking, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I almost sandbagged him with my fucking AA. Like, I purposely fucking spiked him for my AA. I'm not gonna lie.
Can we talk about the time you had your dick cut by a stick?
Bro, that was way back in the day. Luckily there was no blood, but man, that's I think the second year of full time FPW.
Hey, the stick was back for a vengeance.
Jesus Christ! But I really do think that me and Chris had match of the night for Clash. I really think.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me,
then I think
me
it
and
was you and
Echo.
yeah, you and Echo were next, and then probably Blaze's match.
And oh no, now me and you are both gonna get shit on because Blaze is gonna come in and be like, "No, my match was match of the night."
He definitely didn't have match of the night for Uprising. The fuck was him versus the Yeet?
Oh my god, the yeet!
The Yeet! Oh
The
my
yeet!
god. So, before we end and move away from the Nexus, what do you think is one of the best things about the Backyard Wrestling Nexus?
No drama. Holy shit.
I mean, okay, we can't say no drama because there has been a couple times.
Almost no drama.
But but when we do have drama, like I said in the Jay Gaz podcast, we solve it pretty quickly and smoothly, and there's no damage control after.
Yep.
You know, we bring a lot of people, together and shit, which is nice because, whenever you need help or need something, there's always someone there willing to help and get you what you need, and everybody's friendly, everybody's close. It's almost like a family, So when you came back to YBW this time, it's been clear that ATK have not been standing for Aaron the Killer and was changed to Above the Knights. So let's talk about.
That wasn't efficient either.
So So what's the story behind it becoming Above the Knights?
Oh, he just wanted to fit in with the King of the Kick shit, and I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Do I even really have a choice?
So do you not have creative freedom really in YBW?
I do now, but before then, I really didn't. Like, I am a board member, but I'm a board member in disguise. Like, I am part of the board. It's just they just don't show that I'm part of the board. Like, I have say, like with my world title shit, I get say on who I face, kind of, and when I face them.
So
Like, When I faced Dominic at 5th year anniversary, that was my choice. I called the shots for that.
Dominic, I like Dominic. Dominic has a lot of potential if he really trained.
If he could pull his head out of his ass like he did last taping, then yeah.
So it's been
Bro, with the fucking horrible razor blade combo.
so it's been a little bit of a topic of conversation in the community about the whole you know short lasted beef publicly that you had with Aaron Blaze. So let's talk about the whole situation with Aaron Blaze. Was it a work? Was it not a work? Where did it stem from? And what's going on now in the aftermath? Because if people don't know, on Instagram, I don't know, maybe like a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, or some shit.
Literally everything happened.
Yeah, you went on to say that you quit YBW and that your freedom was taken away or whatever the fuck. So let's talk about, because I know what really went on.
Eamon got so pissed when I told him what Stryker said.
All right, before we get into what Stryker said, so let's talk about what started, and let's take it back to the beginning and how did this all beef, I guess, started.
Okay, so I'm just gonna speak the truth because there's no reason to lie about it now. What happened was, and this has to go with the whole Tennessee drama. I was being pulled into it, and you know how I am. I kindly asked people to leave me out of it. I texted you about it. I'm like,
So what was the Tennessee drama that you were being brought into?
It's just TBW and UWA going and bitching about everything. It's like,
And you're close with some of those guys?
yeah, I am close with some of them. Jake doesn't talk to me anymore, but that's neither here or there.
He hasn't talked to me in like forever. Even though I was like one of the people who helped, launch UWA. Fun fact.
But what basically happened was I told Eamon how I felt. And no offense, Eamon, you did get bitchy with me about it. And you were pissing me off, and then I found out what you were saying to Aries, and then you proceeded to lie. You proceeded to deny that you said any of it, and then I slapped the screenshots on you, and you didn't say a word after, but you read it because you knew I knew the truth. But we got past that. We always get past shit. We're back on the same page again. And that's that.
So, it's been no secret that you've been talking.
And Eamon, I'm sorry to tell you, but I did lie to you again when I said I was jealous of you. I just said that just so we could get off the fucking conversation.
He said I had to stroke his ego to calm him down.
Like, dude, if I was jealous of you, you wouldn't know it.
I mean, honestly, I don't see what there is to be jealous of. Like, you're doing pretty damn good right now.
Like, look at the views recently for YBW on the shows that I'm a part of. My promo has more views than a random episode of Carnage that I'm not a part of. Or if Eamon's having a match, then yes, maybe that will get a couple more. But if I'm not a part of it, my promo has more my internet exclusive, has more views. Breakout in the case. Everybody watched it because of the 1 hour Iron Man match. Monday Night Carnage night after. Everyone watched it because of me and Velado's rematch.
I mean,
I am a brawl.
That's like I said, there's nothing to be jealous about. I mean, you're doing pretty damn good right now. So
I'm gonna get more shit from him now because of this. Let's be honest.
Duty with the Saint. So let's talk about we brought up Tennessee and stuff. So it's been no secret, and you've made it clear in some posts and stuff that you plan on moving to Tennessee.
Eamon's giving me shit for that.
So what's the whole plan and idea? Why do you want to move to Tennessee?
1, get away from drama here. 2, get away from all the traumatizing things I've seen here.
So you want to move out of state and like get a new life, right?
Get a new life.
But
yes.
Why Tennessee?
Why Tennessee? Closer to friends that I have down there. Family, like the family that I like, the side of my family I like is actually going to be moving to Tennessee.
All right.
So if I get down there before them, I don't have to worry about getting caught up with all a lot of bullshit down there because of some people are going to be pissed about my family moving. I don't want to be caught in the middle of that. Eamon, if you're watching this, that's another reason I'm moving. Family is why. Yes, I tell you I hate my family, but there's a part of my family that I do like my mom. I love my mom. She has done everything for me. She has allowed me to keep wrestling.
I feel that.
She's the reason I wanted to come back to backyard wrestling because she is supporting me through this.
That's great. That's dope. That's dope.
And here's another reason. I want to try to get to new wrestling places. I've done everything. Once you know everything that's happening, Eamon. You know once all my stuff is done with YBW, you know I have nothing left to do. You even told me you don't know what to book me in after.
See, and that's one of the things about putting somebody on like a super crazy run. It's like once that run's over, it's like you already did everything. Then it becomes repeat, and and
Like
repeats become stale, and then it's like you kill all your fucking momentum.
say I didn't win the Breakouts title yet, all right? And
Yeah,
I just
but like then again, if you go like that's like Roman Reigns after this fucking like 4 year, 10 year fucking title reign. That's like him losing the titles and then going after the Intercontinental title.
he's already won that.
But I'm just giving an example. Like it don't make sense. See, and that's the thing about having this
The only
crazy
way
world title run.
that would make sense is if I won the number one contenders briefcase.
But then again, if you already had this crazy run as the world champ, why go to the mid card title?
If it's something I haven't achieved, then I would. But
But then again,
I've already
does it really matter at that point?
I've already established.
Exactly. You know, what the fuck you doing? Stop
Eamon texted me, and all I hear is "Rain When I Die" playing.
Jesus Christ. Fucking Eamon's like a spy. He's like, fucking shut up. Stop burying me on this goddamn podcast. You fuckers, I'm the making more moments. Love you, Aaron.
No, it's not.
Alright.
It's not like he texted me on Instagram. He texted my number.
He said, shit's getting real now. Stop burying me. We
What
love
was I
you.
saying?
We love you, Blaze. Relax.
Oh,
Don't get so
that's
hissy.
right. I know what I was saying. Yeah, we do love you, man. But I am already established Hall of Famer in YBW. I am going to be a Hall of Famer in that
Exactly.
promotion.
So there would be no point to go after the mid card titles and do other irrelevant shit then.
And like in BYWN, if as long as I keep up with what I'm doing, I'm already going to be established Hall of Famer there.
Exactly.
Because I've only missed one show, and that was the tribute show, and it wasn't even something. It was something because of something out of my control.
But the tribute show's not really a collab show. It's more like a tribute to.
A part of it, but I just couldn't be a part of it.
So so you wanted to move to Tennessee. How do you feel about that whole reputation of like the Tennessee's not that good of a scene? There's a lot of toxic ass cracks there. So how do you feel about moving there with a scene that has that type of reputation?
I really don't care. I just want to go down and wrestle and travel.
Because I mean, I've heard from people that there are some good people down there, but majority are kind of. I would never go there, and I'm not really friends with nobody
why?
down
The majority of people say, and I just want to say cuck. Have you noticed that cuck has become a very popular word in the backyard wrestling now?
Why so?
Eamon started this shit, and then all of a sudden everyone's saying it. I'm not saying it to make fun of anyone, though. I'm just saying it because it's a funny ass word.
Tennessee is like the root of like just not good things. Let's just be honest. Their scene is so fucked up, and nobody's really.
I was about to fucking text Jake and Josh, and I'm happy I didn't because I don't want to start any more shit. I'm like, if you guys don't figure it out, then I ain't fucking coming.
So what companies do you plan on trying to go to in Tennessee?
All the ones that are associated with TBW, so TBW, PWF. BYCW I know will happen because me and Dalton are really good friends.
So why not UWA?
I won't be allowed to go.
Why?
Cause there's a stupid ass rule, and I'm sorry to you guys down there, no offense, but there's a stupid fucking rule stating if you work for one, you can't work for the other.
Really? So
Like,
there's
you know
so
what? I might as well walk into the door of UWA or TBW and say, I'm here to represent KTW. I'm not here to represent TBW. I'm not here to represent UWA. I'm here to represent myself.
so what UWA and TBW are now having beef or whatever.
They've been having beef, but they just decided to lock each other up.
Yeah, that's
That's why.
backyard wrestling.
Remember when Joe Anderson had that really good performance in the Jamboree and then got fired?
I wouldn't know. I don't follow their crap.
Well, Joe Anderson had had a Gunther timing in the Jamboree. Like he had Gunther's long ass fucking run in the Jamboree. He came out at number one and went to the final two and then lost to CJ, which no offense, CJ and Jake, kind of, but that's neither here or there. And guys, I know I'm gonna get shit for this by a couple people, but am I not allowed to be honest?
Shit, it's my fucking podcast, my fucking show. You say what the fuck you want to say.
Hey, it's shooting with the same for a reason. I'm allowed to shoot. Hall points in the chamber. I don't miss my first shot.
So shoot, brother.
Shout out to the when Eamon was doing his promo. Shout out to the headshot.
No comment.
I already know Jake's not gonna watch this unless CJ sends it to him.
So let's swim up away from this fucking crap. So let's talk about dream matches. So what do you say? What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about dream matches. Me over here going Florida.
So I know it's a question that a lot of people ask. Everybody gets asked this. Dream matches.
I get this asked all the time, and it's like I post on it a lot. So people ask me what my dream matches are, and then something on my Instagram, nobody does it.
Yeah,
like 1 minute, give me the names, and I'll give you my honest opinion on them if they're a dream match or not.
Might as well ask it here on a platform that's going to be up on YouTube to stay, not like a 24-hour post on your story. So, what is your list at this moment of dream matches? If anything was possible, who would you like to face? If you want to fantasy book a little bit, fantasy book, match type, whatever.
I can't put them in order because it would take me a while because I would have to think of what the order is. I do have an order.
It doesn't have to be in order. Just just shoot
I'm
off.
not gonna say order. I am gonna say who my number one is as of right now. My best friend Joe Anderson from TBW.
Respectable.
Because me and him have talked a lot about what we want to do when I come up. In fact, he's the one who's giving me a living space when I get up there.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Give me a place to live until my girlfriend graduates from college, and then we'll be getting an apartment first. Probably. Until the big day comes, and then we're getting a house.
So you versus Joe Anderson, TBW.
Actually, it might be KTW, depending on how things go. Because remember, I'm getting a ring.
I mean, either or. So Joe Anderson's your number one. What are some other names?
Striker.
That'd be dope.
Dope. Ace Reed from BEW. The Saint-A.T.K-2 Aries.
I mean, obviously, come on.
Self-explanatory. This one would be interesting just because of the styles, but me versus Atomic Titan.
He's actually hit me up about if I ever get the wrestling ring and do the wrestling company. He did ask about coming down to wrestle.
Because you know how you could honestly put me versus Tom a Titan, and honestly, you could probably do this for me and Striker.
I'm a little iffy about having any Tennessee guys down in general, but I mean, we'll see.
Well, fuck you then. I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know because I mean, we've had some issues in the past.
But you gotta bring me in.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously welcome, but what are some other names?
Not Tennessee, but I am.
You fucking traitor! You gonna do Infinity now?
Fuck no.
He said,
fuck no, Infinity's UWA and shit. I'm like, Amen can go have his Infinity. He can go fuck the Infinity. But I'm gonna stay loyal to BYWN, and I'm
Hey,
gonna
the
draw more
BYWN is Infinity and Beyond, so that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Infinity and Beyond. That's our next collab show.
I thought about that, but fuck it. We're gonna say civil. So what are some other backyard wrestlers that you would like to face 3 matches?
Let's see here. This one, the next one I kind of have in mind. This one I don't know if it will happen, but actually, who the fuck?
It's
Me
just
versus
if
Jake,
anything. It doesn't have to be if it's
me
really
versus
possible.
Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is someone I would want to face. Another dream match I had that was actually going to happen before the whole tournament thing got shut down was going to be me versus Tyson Spade was supposed to happen from NEW.
All right.
Me and Tyson Spade were supposed to wrestle, and you could even talk to Spade. He will tell you because me and him were put in the first round to face each other, but the
For
whole
what?
tournament
For what
canceled.
company?
Oh, what the fuck? KWA? Not the KWA you're thinking of.
For
I think it's
Kentucky.
KWA or KAW. I can't remember what the show's called.
All right. So you named off some.
The reason it got canceled because everybody was bitching because the owner wanted to win the tournament.
Jesus, there goes again. Bookers and wrestlers, they need to figure this shit out. So you named off some dream opponents that you would like to face, and I appreciate myself being on that list or whatever. You're on my list.
Predatory.
But what are some goals that you still want to accomplish in backyard wrestling? Whether it's a business side of things for KTW or just, your wrestling goals in general. What are some goals that you still want to accomplish?
So I want to get KTW to a high point of like quality over quantity. Like right now,
and where it's its own company, because right now it's kind of being branded as like a developmental or some shit of YBW.
Even though it's not, I never agreed to that. I agreed to help out with the show, but I never said it would be developmental.
So real quick, how does KTW and YBW work together?
Just share rosters, basically.
All right. So back to the goals.
I like how Eamon. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm making fun of you for this one this time. I'm making fun of you this time. Bro comes in and says, I'm making KTW the views, but if you look up when I posted the Clash of the Yards matches, 600 views when his only has like 100 or 200.
Man.
So who's drawing the views now? Well, honestly, me and him talked it out, and he said that I was more of a draw now. So.
Oh, really?
I become the biggest thing in the show. To be fair, he then stated that it's because of him, but hey man, I made myself. You didn't make me. You just want to say that to take credit.
Jesus Christ.
I can't wait to see my DMs after this.
Jesus Christ. All right, so back to the goals. Let's get back to the goals before we fucking give everybody an aneurysm.
I have championships in mind. Yes, I do.
I mean, that's respectable. It's nice to.
If FBW ever comes back,
the ring company won't be FBW. I don't want to leak a name, like I said in the JCast.
Okay. If the Florida-based company ever comes with a ring,
you can just
shit,
say my ring company.
I want to go down there and win the world title, but not just win the world title, but win it in like a big storyline.
I like that. Yeah, because in like one of these things that like for my ring company, everybody who comes is going to have to earn their stripes before they win the title. And now don't get me wrong, if people travel and come down to my ring company, if and when that happens, I'm going to book everybody good and make their trip worthwhile, but I'm not going to hand out my title like these other feds do and shit. You're going to have to earn. And like I don't care what name you have where. In my company, you got to earn your stripes, and you got to, prove that you're loyal to me.
And
shit.
It's not buddy shit either. Trust me, it's not buddy. It's not if you ride the dick, get the dick. Wait, whoa. If you ride the dick, somebody's gotta put this on a T-shirt now. If you ride the dick, you get the dick.
Jesus Christ. But no, and that's the thing, because I know a lot of companies, they're buddy. You come to my company for traveling down, I'll give you the title. That's just not going to work for me. Because if I do that, it's not gonna make my title prestigious. It's gonna lower the prestige of my belt. I want my belt to be a prestigious, relevant belt in the back of wrestling company.
And that's another thing with people winning world titles. Make the belt. Stop making it a number. Make it a belt. Make
And
it
that's another thing. I don't want to hand off my belt just so and so or whatever can be like, yeah, that's title number fucking 12 or some shit from state number fucking 7.
Me and you know who we're talking about.
Like, I don't want that shit because that devalues my fucking belt. Just so you can go around and say, yeah, I'm champ number fucking 12 from state number fucking 8 or some bullshit. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to move on. That's just a number. Here's my next title reign. I'm going to go to another Fed and win another belt. No, I want for someone to win my belt and be like, yeah, I'm the fucking champ.
I'm the champ that runs the camp.
If I just play fucking hot potato and hand off my belt to whoever just because they came down.
Hot potato.
How prestigious is my belt at the end of the day?
Yeah, you want it to be a world title. You don't want it to be the 24/7 title.
No, I don't want it to be a fucking participation belt. A participation
award.
But I respect that. And
when people say world titles and like champions, I don't know why this comes to mind, but CJ Jadunt's world title reign comes to mind for some reason.
I'm not gonna even cap talking about world titles. I didn't even want to win the SGW title,
but it had to be done.
We kind of agreed that like me being their world champ kind of just benefits their brand and helps grow their brand.
And it will draw.
I mean, look where SGW is going. SGW is growing.
Yeah.
Ever since I hopped on, it's been gaining subs and shit.
While you may believe that you don't have a huge fan base, look at what you're doing in SGW. I give SGW shit in character, but outside of character, I love watching SGW when I had the time, because I'll watch you and Sam Reeves' feud
my debut show is the most viewed SGW event. But
yeah.
So what else are some goals that you want to accomplish at Back of Wrestling?
Of course, just get around to other companies and bring up views and stuff for them and help them out. I want to help build the community and build smaller shows. Eamon gives me shit for going to smaller shows, but I do it for a reason.
And you know what? I feel that because when I came out of retirement after the big Backyard Wrestling Nexus Clash of the Yards retirement shit, and I came back and I returned to SGW, I got shit for coming back to like a small unknown Fed. But to me, and my relationship with Sam Reeves and the story of like that, honestly, there would have been no other better return. Honestly, nobody could have pitched a better return than what my return was for SGW. And I've gotten fucking offers for returns, like YBW. Aaron Blaze offered me to come into my retirement.
That's a fun story too.
Oh my god! And honestly, it was shit. I literally, basically, the plan was to come, be an enhancement talent, come in, lose to you, him, beat some fucking unknown mask guys, fucking fucking bitch foe, and then
losing to me wasn't for enhancement. Losing to me was just to make the world title reign mean more. But losing to everybody else was stupid.
Basically, I would come in. So the original plan was I come in, I challenge you, I lose to you like 2 times or some shit. I rack up some wins against unknown guys, no names, and then I go
where the fuck did I get Il Ospreay? I meant to say
fucking El Spectro or some bullshit, and then I go into a program with Blaze, and then I lose to Blaze. Like, what the fuck does that do for me? I'm gonna come out of retirement.
That's the new name for El Spectro.
And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with putting you over or anything. But, like, I know my value. I know, my stock.
You know the reason why Eamon wasn't going to have you beat me, right?
Now, granted.
Besides world title reign.
Like, sure. Like, am I going to come in and win the world title when I'm a part-timer and probably never going to come back up?
It's not the world title. It's not just for the world title sense. He's trying to build me up like a fucking monster.
See, here's how I would have done it. Like, if he really wanted me to face you, I probably would have done that at the end of the run. Like, at least put me in a meaningful story and have me rank up big wins and become something, and then I
and
lose to you at the end, and then I leave.
and then it catches my attention, and then it's the whole disciple versus Messiah. Because you were the no Messiah.
Or whatever the story was. I think, whatever the story is. But at the end, after I beat some names, not no names, and I build up credibility, at the end I face you.
Let me be honest, Amen. What you should have done when it comes to putting Aries over, you should have put him over at Revelation. You should put him over at Revelations.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. I would have had me versus you last. I lose, and then I just leave. But it is what it
You
is.
would
But
you probably would have faced me around
because this was
breakdown in the case time.
because this was pitched, not like I could have even went to Pennsylvania, but this was pitched a little bit, like maybe like a month before I signed on with SGW, because I signed with SGW around January.
Hey, now you can't say you haven't traveled. Now people can shut the fuck up, right?
But that's the thing. People say, "Oh, you went to a no-name Fed," but look, SGW will be on the map, and it's slowly becoming on the map. And that's my goal right now is to grow SGW.
That's why I'm going to MCW and Thorne's show, because I know Thorne's show needs help with getting up there, and me and Thorne, we are tight when it comes to. I was talking to him when him and Blaze were having the beef, and I'm like, dude, just don't worry about it. He's like this. He's like this, and yes, Amen. Like this. My DMs are gonna look like shit.
So real quick before I ask the last question and we wrap this up, what is your thoughts about my SGW run? Because not a lot of people want to recognize. Because not a lot of people want to recognize me and my talent, and I know you've been a day one supporter of me and shit, and dude, I'm the same way with you. What do you think about my SGW run?
Bro, I thought my works were good, but holy shit, dude. I have never seen you work such a good match. Like, you have worked good matches, and I have seen them, like your 1 hour Iron Man match. But you went the next level in SGW. And I don't know if it was because of the trampoline you felt more comfortable.
Yeah. Because, like, when I got to the trampoline, I realized, I'm like, damn, like, I can do more moves that I... Because, like, wrestling on the ground, there's so many things that, like, we can't do because of safety.
When you get the ring, me and you I'm gonna train you within the ring a little bit, because I'm gonna try to be.
Because I think you'll have somewhat pro training by then, and I'm not wasting my money on pro school. It's just
I will train you, because I'll be
like when I got to the ring, like I realized I'm like, shit, I can do this now. Because when I was wrestling on the ground, like, there was so many shit we couldn't do because of safety concerns, because of having no ring,
There's something I might be adding to my arsenal, and I will send you the Instagram reel after live, because it's something I might try doing when I get in the ring.
So what was so good about my SGW run?
Your wrestling in general, like your work was amazing.
People sleep on me. I'm not gonna lie. People sleep on me.
The storyline made sense. The wrestling aspect of it was amazing. The promos were beautiful.
Me and Reeves at Hog probably is my second best match.
Wait, your matches and like who you put over made so much sense. It made sense for Reeves to go over and take control of BYWN first, for you to have the comeback story of a lifetime to beat him and then win at SummerBat.
Sadly, Hog is not blowing up on YouTube for some reason, but I think that was the best main event BYWN story ever. And that's the thing. People have the opportunity to do shit like that and really build a story on the Nexus, but no one's really taking advantage of it.
Like, you know what I'm doing next year. And me and you've talked about it, and you agreed that what I'm doing next year is probably going to be one of the biggest stories to go in.
I'm going up to SGW soon. And the stuff we got planned for the rest of the year, because my SGW run right now is going to expire at the end of the year. Whether I re-sign with SGW for next year or whatever, I'm telling you, this year you're not going to want to miss the rest of my Anthony Aries stuff.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I have to re-sign a contract at the end of this year, but I don't know if I'm signing a contract again next year.
And you're talking about with YBW? So what is next for ATK?
I might have Eamon make me a special contract that guarantees me 6 months.
So what is next for ATK?
What is next for ATK? Moving on and doing stuff elsewhere until there's nothing left. Until I've done everything that I wanted to do, and then
You're gonna go pro.
yep. I'll come if I'm allowed to. Like in the indies, I know some indie shows allow you to stay in the yard. If they do,
Well,
I will
see,
go.
my ring company. I mean, you'd always be
I
welcome.
think
You know that.
rules. I think the rules with indie feds is if you're gonna do the backyard stuff, you have to do it in a ring. Which is that's where I'm staying after I leave PA. I'm just mainly gonna do ring feds
I mean,
because
if I get my fed
ring
started, you're always
trampoline
welcome.
and trampoline because I do want to have some fun in trampoline.
I feel that trampoline wrestling is fun. So we've been talking for a bit, and I want to start ending off these podcasts with one question that I've gotten, inspiration from a pro wrestling, podcast series. What are some things, ending off this podcast, what are some things that you are thankful for in backyard wrestling? Throughout your whole journey, what are some things you're thankful for?
The people I met and the friends I made, whether it's you, whether it's Joe, whether it's Dalton. Who else can I give a quick shout out to? Whether it's, I have to say it, me and him have a love-hate relationship, but whether it's Blaze, you guys have helped me get to where I am. You guys motivated me to keep working hard and busting my ass off.
I feel that.
And I couldn't help but appreciate it.
And I appreciate you because, everybody wants to sleep on my career and shit, but you've been always, there recognizing the talent I got. So I appreciate you too.
Recognize what's real. And you are real.
A lot of people just don't want to recognize me, but I do work my ass off, and you do too. You have some of the best abilities.
I never knew I had so much potential. Like, I thought I was good when I was back then, when I was able to do my flips and stuff. And I thought that's what I needed to do to be good. But when I found out that people recognized me for my technical ability, that's when I just started being more technical. Do I want to go back and be my flippy old self? Yes, I do want to go back, do my moonsaults, do my Spanish flies, do my shooting star presses. But I gotta get my body loosened up to do that again because it's been years since I've done it.
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I'm fired up because being on the trampoline and with this whole new fresh set of things to do in SGW, I really want to prove to people why they shouldn't be sleeping on Anthony Aries, and that's
You should put that on a t-shirt, honestly. Don't sleep on.
Never sleep on Aries. Feel that.
I can't wait to get my newer t-shirt. And you know which one I'm talking about.
I mean, just a little heads up I don't know when this is coming out. Because we're filming this the same day of the J Gaz our podcast, as you guys can probably tell. But I got some new gear coming in. I got my new logo shirts coming in. I got some hats coming in. It's gonna be dope. I'm really taking this shit to the next level to prove.
I know. That took me a minute to think of what you were talking about, but I remember which gear you're getting.
Yup, you saw.
Hey,
so thank you
do
for.
Do you still want me to get you the other gear that I showed you?
I mean, if you want. I mean, I don't want to force you to do nothing,
Because you're gonna need stuff like that when you get the ring.
Yeah, but I mean, the ring.
Don't wear it.
I'm hoping by the end of the year. I'm hoping by the end of the year next year, by 2024.
You still saving up?
Yeah, I'm hoping. Hopefully, if things go to plan, If not, definitely by 2025, I'll have the ring. No doubt by 2025, if things go to plan.
Hey, so if you still want to film the FBW, the Florida promotion that you have, I'll be down to come down early before the ring and we can do stuff. Even if it's not film, I'll come down. We can hang out, relax, train.
We could. I like that.
I'm willing to help out a friend.
I feel that. I appreciate you coming on this podcast. I know it's been long overdue, but we finally got it done. I'd love to have you on for
I'm home alone, that's why.
What?
Fuck you. I'm home alone, that's why.
This motherfucker. I appreciate you coming on for the podcast. Definitely would love to have you on for a part 2 because I feel like there's so much more.
There's definitely a part 2, let's be honest. There's going to be a part 2.
Hell, we can continue talking now.
Speaking of part 2s, I got to go talk to someone else about a part 2. No, I'm not talking about my girl.
So, this motherfucker. So, before we wrap this up and end this off, open mic. Any last words before we send this thing off?
For those who have doubted me and criticized me, fuck you, because look where I am now.
There it is. Thank you guys for watching. This has been an episode with Shooting with the Saint. Follow me on Instagram. Follow ATK. Go
Yes,
subscribe to
sir.
KTWYBW. Check out his career. And also on Instagram, we have an account for clips of this podcast. If you guys want to watch the clips, it is at Shooting with the Saint. No dots, no underscores, just at Shooting with the Saint on Instagram. So check that out for clips. And we'll see you guys
Where
in the
the
next
fuck
episode.
coming from?
And we have ATK
Oh,
losing his mind over here. This motherfucker interrupting my damn outro. I know who's
Go
never coming. This motherfucker. Thank you guys for watching.